I first want to add a trigger warning. If you're triggered in any way by mental health, depression, or suicide, please do not watch my video. Click on to the next one. It won't hurt my feelings. Put your mental health first. How many of you know about mental health? I'm sure every single one of us has gone on social media and you see something about mental health and about keeping your mental health first and stuff like that. It's not draining. I was going to say it was draining so that I could lead on to what I was saying, but it's not draining. It's something that everyone should become aware about. So when you see those things, just click past them if you don't want to see them, but I think you should see them. When you think about mental health, though, what comes to your mind? Is it depression? Or does it go straight to criminal minds and sociopathic tendencies? Or does it go straight to the bad thing? Suicide. Suicide. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in America. It takes the lives of 47,000 Americans each year. There are many causes of why people commit suicide. Some of the reasons can go from depression, or even someone important in their life has died. So many reasons, and there are so many signs that lead up to someone committing. Some of the most common signs are social withdrawal, or substance abuse, or even reckless behavior. In 2018, 750 17 to even down to 13-year-olds found that 45% of them are online constantly. But 97% of them use social media in some way, either way. Suicide and social media, do they tie together? Because I think they do. Social media has become a big part of people's lives, and especially teens. Bullying and standards and stuff like that are shown on social media can lead to a teen becoming depressed, and even lead them to committing suicide, which is sad. Today, I want to show you how social media affects teens. To explain this further, I want to go into the history of social media and how many teens are on social media. And then I want to point you to standards and bullying on social media that tie into the topic. And then I'm going to finish off with why all of this can lead to suicide. First, we're going to talk about all the history of social media and how many teens use it. As I said in the introduction, in 2018, 750 13 to 17-year-olds found that 45% of them are online constantly, but 97% of them have social media. So 97 of 750 teens adds up to about 727 teens that have social media. This means they have to put their life out there in some way. Lots of us teens use popular socials like Instagram, where they post pictures with catchy captions. Or they use Snapchat, where you put all the cool stuff in your life so all your friends think that you're cool. Or you use Twitter, where you tweet things that you hope that people will relate to so that they retweet the stuff that you say so that you fit in. I could go on and on about the different platforms. Social media is a place that a lot of us go to fit in. We go to over 100 social sites that people can go to fit in. Like Twitter, where when we get retweeted, we think that somebody out there thinks and feels the same way that we do. When we want to feel like we belong somewhere, we go to social media for that temporary feeling. Some people even make money off social media. Those little skinny girls who tell you about their workouts and tell you how to lose weight. As a chunky girl, you really think that's going to help me? Anyways, now that we know the history, what about the standards and how they may lead to bullying at school? There's so many standards on social media, from being skinny or being curvy, or for girls to have abs, or for guys to have abs and huge arms. You have to have a pretty face to be successful on social media, or you have to be extremely funny. You won't make it if you have horrible style, or you have to shop at thrift stores, and when you go shopping, you have to vlog it, or you have to buy designer bags. There's no in between. If you're sad, make it a trend, and it will make you feel so much better. I could go on and on. If you look up social media standards, you see the article from the BBC. In this article, it tells you about social media and body image, and it suggests in the first sentence that you always see highly edited versions of people's pictures. So this always makes us feel insecure. This is so true in so many cases with teens and even kids. You click on Instagram and you see that pretty girl with all the curves, and you see that guy with all the abs and big arms, and it makes you want that on your body. So it makes you feel insecure about the body that you're in, and it messes up your body image so much. I'm always one to preach everyone needs to learn to love how their body, but it's not as easy as it sounds, and with social media around, it makes it 10 times harder. In middle school, I first started using social media, and everyone around me did too. You would go on there and see all these pictures of the really pretty girls, the Tumblr girls, and you felt like you were supposed to live up to. You felt like you were supposed to look like that. Middle school is already hard. You're trying to figure out who you are and being happy with the skin that you're in. Many hit puberty during this time, which already makes it difficult. Social media at this time made the boys at school not like you because you didn't look like the pretty girl that was on social media. The preppy petite girls would bully the little chunky girls like me, and because I didn't fit in. I did not have the best at-home life at this time, so it made it 10 times harder on me. I went through life in middle school, and I already hated my body, and I barely knew anything about life, so it made it like, what? Like, you haven't even experienced life, and you already hate yourself? Like, huh? I went through depression, and it was really bad on me, and I just can't even imagine what it would be like on the teens of the generations coming up, because social media has excelled in so many different ways. I just recently graduated high school, and I can only imagine the type of technology that there is now. And if it was in my middle school years, I can imagine how hard it would be. You see a lot now, though, that women and men are trying to support each other in liking their bodies the way that they are, and I think that's very important. But I also think that there's not enough of it, because you still go on there and you're like, dang, I wish I looked like her. Standards suck, and it sucks even worse that it leads to bullying, but doesn't lead to suicide. The social media and the standards of it really lead to teens wanting to commit suicide. Let's talk about it. Suicide is the 10th leading cause, just like I said. It kills over 47,000 Americans each year. But does social media lead to any of that? Based off the things that I've said, do you think it does? I think it definitely can. With standards and everything that's tied into it, it definitely has taken a toll on us in some way. There's an article, and it's titled Social Media and Suicide, A Public Health Perspective. It's written by the doctors in the National Library of Medicine, and this article says that they conducted a research to see how easy it is to find the best suicide methods, and let's just say that they found that it was super easy. Too easy. It even says that there were some websites that were pro-suicide, and they were encouraging it. So not only do you go on social media and find degrading images, but you also find the best ways to commit suicide and people telling you to. Do you believe me now? Social media is such a scary place. You can literally look up the best ways to commit suicide, and you can land on so many results. Before social media, there was no way that you were going to see a news article titled anything about how to commit suicide, with the best ways to commit suicide. Social media is not only scary, but it's also a place that has way too much information on things that don't need that much information about them. Telling teens this makes them think that suicide is the right path to go down, and suicide is never the answer, and it will never be the answer. In conclusion to this speech, social media can lead and encourage suicide, and I hope that you're with me on this. Social media has been around since I have been alive, and it's always been something that people go through, and they go on it to fit in. As social media has progressed, you see standards which often degrade people and the image that they're in, and they use things like Photoshop or filters that make them look the way that they're not. So you think that you're supposed to look like that naturally, which makes your body image go downhill. It makes it go downhill. Suicide is not the answer, and it will never be the answer. I say that we put a stop to body image and standards. Everyone is different, and we've all been born to be different. And I know that you can say that all day, and it's never going to make a change. But just be aware of social media and be aware of the effects that it can have on people, because it can lead to suicide, and that's scary. Thanks.